All right, Lee. I got a new movie.
All right.
We're going to watch The Banana Splits. The movie.
They made a movie of the Banana Splits?
Well, you know, you
How
sleep
many
on it
decades?
for 50 years or so, and then bam, you come out with a horror movie.
Are you like a Banana Splits fan? Like, what's the
Not
reason
even
for
a
this?
little.
Okay.
But I'm interested.
What is this?
Well, they're like, mascot type creatures that did a.
I really only know
comedy
like the
style show.
la 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 da da da.
That's
da.
more than most people know.
There's
about
more
the Banana
words.
Splits.
I don't know the rest. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there was a CD that I had many years ago that was like Saturday morning goes punk rock or something, and there were all these people on the
I love those
soundtrack and
CDs.
all that stuff. This was one of the earlier ones. I remember not all the tracks were bangers, but one of them was this, and that's how I know all of these things. There's like Gigantor, Sublime does Hong Kong Phooey, and it's dope. Look that up. That's awesome. This was not one of the ones that was awesome, I don't think, but it says nothing about the show.
One banana, two banana, three banana, four. Four bananas make a bunch of so many more.
But
Sure.
it was all stuff from this era. It was like old Hanna-Barbera-y, like cartoony.
I will go out on a limb and
cartoons
say
and
that the
stuff.
original thing does not hold up tremendously either. But it's in that realm of like psychedelic-y, weird shit, like puffin stuff kind of. You know, they're like, what is this?
Okay.
This is my pal, Freddie. He's the only talking fruit in the world.
Please, Jimmy, squeeze the water out of me. I'll get rusty.
Why are these like creepy ass things for children's shows?
Why is this for children?
But yeah, so it kind of lends itself to become a horror movie.
Tra-la-la terror is the tagline
Yes.
here on the cover. It is a horror update of Banana Splits.
Exactly.
It's a Banana Splits murder rampage.
Yeah, these costumes look like they're not exactly the original ones, but they are close enough.
Do you remember the originals enough to know that?
I
Like,
think they had that, you know, it's like that weird raggedy late
Yeah.
60s like children thing, like almost like a Halloween costume your mom would make if you were born 40 years ago.
Was it black and white?
No, it was
Okay,
it was
okay.
that like super crisp popped color of weird, you know, like
Okay.
oh, it's color.
Oh, this new thing with the color TV. I remember color TV, Lee.
Yeah, 68, 69, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so definitely like before our time, no excuse for.
Yeah, you don't have. This is. I give you no bullshit for.
This
not,
wasn't even on like Nick at Night or like.
I
Yeah.
saw it on something. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what it was, like a boomerang or like one of those fucking things.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've seen my fair share of old cartoons, but never like I'm watching every episode of this or something.
These are the
like
kind of
that.
old, quirky, bullshitty, singy, like things that like I would like to put on when,
Okay.
when I was going to bed.
They're in a band, yeah.
Yeah, they're a band.
They're a band.
Because like it's like, you know,
Good.
it's like the old Archie show, just like, oh, it's just happiness,
Oh.
nothing bad here, and then
Look
you
at
have
all
them
this-
as like murderers now, and
It's
I'm like,
like-
okay, that's a good juxtaposition.
It's just laughing where they come out of the little holes or some stupid thing like that. Let's read the box.
Sure.
9-year-old Harley and his family attend a taping of their favorite variety kids show, The Banana Splits. Unaware that this eponymous animatronic rock band just learned that their show has been canceled, and the band's not going to let it happen. That's an animatronic rock band that doesn't want to be canceled.
That's a different.
And they go, what? Okay. As the Banana Splits break from their programming and wreak havoc all over the soundstage, the body count rises. Harley, his mom, and their new pals must escape the Splits or remain their audience forever. That is some dark connotations. Okay.
So I've not seen a trailer. I've not read the box until just now. So that's interesting to find out they're robots. Wouldn't have
Okay.
guessed it, but
No, that's a weird direction to
I
go.
don't know that it hurts it. We'll find out.
Okay.
Yeah. How long is this fucking thing?
I'm feeling a 90-minute.
89 minutes, you chump.
Perfect.
Not even close.
You get to keep that 1 minute for yourself. Go cry in a corner for 30 seconds.
We'll
and come
see.
back. Perfect.
Lights, camera, terror. All right, well, we'll see you guys in 89 minutes. All right, Lee, so we've watched the movie. Let's give me your non-spoiler thoughts on the film.
I did not like it very much. I'm worried that you loved it. You're smiling. This bothers me.
I did not love it.
Okay.
I thought it was okay. I
Okay.
thought it was worth watching. It's definitely different than the originals. So like I think if you're a fan of that, you can get into this. It's
Yep.
you know, like minor spoilers are like on the box.
No,
as we
yeah,
now
I
see
feel
it,
like we were a little spoiled even by reading the back of the box. I feel like this is what the movie is. Like,
Yeah,
it's kind of just tells you what the
a
movie
little
is.
on the nose. And I always wonder about that stuff. Like, if you would have made a vaguer box, would that make that many less people want to watch this thing? Like,
I don't think
did you suck anybody in with that? I don't know.
I don't think people saw maybe the Five Nights at Freddy crowd for the animatronic angle, but I don't think that people saw this box and thought like, well now I'm sold. Because if you just see it from afar and you see these mascots with like the axe and stuff, that should sell you. The Venn diagram of people that are like, I don't know, and then they read the back and they're like, animatronics run amok at a taping of a show.
Yeah.
Now I'm in.
The cover is all it took for us to order this movie.
The title, the concept. They're making a like horror banana splits, right?
Exactly.
That's crazy.
No, it's interesting enough. So I will say this is worth watching. Not going into any total spoilers. It has good visuals. There's good deaths. It crosses all the T's, dots the I's of like what would make for like a good TV like original horror movie.
Oh, okay.
While this I think was just direct to DVD, I don't think it's ever landed on TV.
That's probably okay. So I'm comparing it to like movies or something like that, which I don't think it's even trying to be. I think it's trying to do its thing or whatever.
This is this is a cash grab, is what I would say this is.
Hot take.
Just based on what it is. Whenever you're taking an old property and you're putting it out again, that's already like, I'm trying to get these people. But you're now taking it dramatically in a different direction. You're not bringing out this childhood beloved show for the new generation of children and ramping it up. You are ramping it up for like potentially that same generation that now goes, wait, what the hell am I? That's what's a horror movie.
Okay.
What, they were always kind of creepy. I'm down. Let's see what this is.
If you were 10 in 1970, how old are you now? You're like dead. You're like older than me. That's dead. So like,
well, I wouldn't say you had to see it original. It was probably on reruns for 20 years.
Yeah, people like this is like, oh yeah, wasn't that a show? Oh, that's like the angle that we're playing up here. Definitely, 100%. For me, like I really wish it had risen above what it kind of is, and I'll get more into that in spoilers and type of thing like that. But that's sort of, I did not love it. It was not like like a slog or whatever. But I think like it's also not like it's not like it is a real movie. It isn't like a fake. Dumb, because some horror movies are like, this isn't even a movie, and then I turn to you and you're like smiling, this is great or something. I'm like, damn, what's going on, right? So like this was an actual movie, but yeah, since it was not even in theaters, I'm probably judging it against I want a lot from it, because I think there was actually like room to do something. I didn't really do it. So for me, I'm sort of like,
I'll go into in spoilers.
Yes,
I think there was a lot of potential for this movie that it did not necessarily achieve. But I will tell you what I would have done to script doctor this.
The word I'm looking for is disappointed. Something like that. Believe it or not, this was interesting and weird enough to
for this thing I didn't know existed and had no expectation upon. It somehow disappointed me a little.
No, like seeing the pitch, I'm like, there's a lot you could do with this, and I don't think they really like did enough of those things. But we'll talk more in spoiler time.
Yeah, definitely worth watching is what I think. So if you're gonna watch it, check out now. If you don't care or have already watched it, we'll see you over in spoilers.
If you need a place to rent content, you better listen. We're Cannibal Video and we eat the competition.
All right, guys, here we are for spoilers. Again, if you haven't seen the movie, punch out, or if you don't care, stick around. So,
the banana splits.
Now we are in spoiler territory. Let me know exactly what you thought about it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think it rose to the occasion or whatever was my overall point of view or whatever. That's where I come down on things. Like I often say, and it's gotten me in trouble now twice, I like a movie that sets things up in the beginning and then comes back to them later and all that stuff. And this did that, but almost all of them were pathetic and horrible.
Or they're very obvious.
Or
the worst is that stupid wand.
I was gonna lead with
where
that.
You're like,
exactly.
That is a Morning Star. That is not a children's toy.
They play a sound effect.
It's actually an umbrella.
It's an umbrella, yes.
Tiny wand.
No, push the button.
But they play a sound effect like he's gonna kill somebody with it.
Yeah.
Then there's no reason he should have it, and he rushes back in and throws it to his mom, and has the strength to destroy this robot monster.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
it
what is
plunges
happening?
Through.
Mom!
Banana cadabra, bitch!
She's not stabbing, you're not clubbing with it, which is what you thought was going to happen, because it's a spiked death weapon.
I thought she was going to wedge it in his mouth just to get away for a minute. But no, it murdered.
Like stick it in the mouth, then push the button so it's stuck
and he goes,
behind his
"Well,
teeth.
hey there, pal, what are you doing? I can't see anything." There's some weird, right? Some thing
Now, that was definitely a shitty foreshadow where you're like,
go
what
back
the
in
fuck
time
from the
and
beginning? Like,
give me
hey,
this script.
Why is that a thing?
Something like
Did you
that.
make that yourself? A store sells that pointed object for children that shoots forward to obviously impale their friend's
When
eyes?
he's like, oh, it sucks, the guy's like, hit that button right there. He's like, it's awesome! And something like that. I'm like, what?
Oh, it's a small wand. It also like felt like
It's
a normal
big
size wand.
Yeah, no.
Before it got big.
No, it's a reasonably sized. The whole thing. That's like indicative of like everything else to me. I feel
So,
like that's sort of
For me,
the
the
thing or
worst part
whatever.
about this was everything they set up. In that you have these robotic characters.
Yeah.
So like there's very little to explain about that other than you meet the mad scientist guy who makes them, but
Yeah.
that's kind of it. They don't really say why they're doing this. They established that in canon, not only is this a show from 68 in reality.
The Banana Splits Adventure Hour was first conceived in 1967 as a send-up of another popular TV show from that era.
So it has been running since
It's a
1968.
50-year-old show
in this
in
world.
their world, not
Yeah.
just somebody's
Yeah.
attempted a cash grab in our world.
Right.
So are we to believe that they've been robots this whole time?
Like, the wand is the best small problem. The best big problem is, I expected, like, they set up all this stuff where he loves this show, and, like, even other kids think it's lame, and his dad is like, I gotta take this boy out to the shooting range, and, like, this is not right, he's not good, or whatever, right? There's all this stuff set up where I thought there was gonna be this, like, reveal for him, where he's like, oh, wait, no, like they're not real, or like, oh, I shouldn't like them, or like, oh, now I see, I've learned something, or whatever.
No.
But they introduced the whole thing that they're robots as if that's a reveal. No one seems concerned about that. Like the people who work for the show should know this.
Yeah.
But the other people, it's like I expected the mom to be like, listen, we have to, this is serious now. Something's going on. It's just a guy in a suit. You don't have to do this. And he goes, no, mommy, it's not a guy in a suit. And then like the robot is standing up, after they've killed him, so to speak, or something like that. Something happening where they're like, oh no, wait, they're robots? But that's apparently known, or it's a thing. But then no one says, wait, are they malfunctioning? Wait, can you shut them down from like a central control panel?
No.
Like anything. It's just ignored
It's
for the
very
whole
dumb.
time.
It's the most advanced technology in the world, and it's on a stupid children's show.
Right. This artificial, intelligent, perfectly balanced, super strong AI is both the dumbest thing in the world,
Yeah.
but super and like super easy to to defeat, but also unstoppable. And like the military doesn't have this, or no one, whatever. That's too nitpicky. But oh my god, it was
To
just
script
such
doctor this for like 1 minute,
Yes.
it would either be one of two things. It would be they are indeed people in suits.
Yeah.
They find out the show's canceled,
Yeah.
and they go on a murderous
Yes,
rampage.
exactly.
Or they are people in suits, and they realize they're going to be replaced with these robots.
Okay.
And either they are what hacks the robots and makes them go crazy, or they are dressed up like them, committing these atrocities
Sure.
to try to blame the robots. Something that would make more sense than what you ended up having.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
why did it even, because their algorithm is show must go on. And he appears to start being a murderous bastard before they even really know they're canceled. Like you see his eyes go, show must go on. Before they're canceled.
because he's like, oh, you need an update.
Someone's reflex subroutine needs a little tweaking.
And it's very sinister before that, but you don't know why.
Harley!
Yeah,
Yes,
and you think, oh, you're
yeah.
gonna paint something like, oh, maybe he knows, oh, you're canceling me, not canceling me, and the robot, he's
so,
gonna
like-
make his creations kill everyone.
As you know, the show must go on.
Kill all the ones that are in control of the show.
Yes.
So like the guy who's actually canceling them, maybe the
cigar
maybe the
guy,
producer,
yeah.
like this and that. But it's indiscriminately, like it's clearly a thought out process because they're killing all the adults. They're leaving the children, who the show is for, to watch them forever because they just want to perform.
Yep.
And
because the show must go on.
it's very dumb.
Yeah, so I had like 20 boring minutes to think about this while watching the movie, and the person tells the producer, I forget his name, tells the producer lady that they're canceled, and then she turns around and like you can see the robot who got like hooked up for his upgrade
Yes.
or whatever. So I was like, okay, I guess at this point he may have overheard or something like that.
Yeah,
But
that,
you
of
but
course
you
we're
see the
listening to
red text as if he's been corrupted or broken before that.
Exactly.
So
That's
not,
what I'm like.
that's
okay.
what I'm saying.
A
yes.
couple of things felt like they were filmed out of order in this movie. What was the guy's name?
shown out of
Steven.
order.
And don't forget, Stevie, I think it was the
Hey!
the man
Yes.
child who was with them.
Right.
There's a part where he's drinking in the middle of the show.
Yeah.
And it feels like that's something that should have happened like after I heard we're getting canceled.
Stevie! Are you drunk?
No. I'm buzzed. After this, I'll be drunk.
He should have then started drinking and then gone off the road. But like, this is just something he does. The show's like a 22-minute show, and somehow
Yes.
he has enough time in the middle to
There's
break
enough
for a
backstage
deep drinking.
time where he's like, now I'm drunk. Or whatever.
Yeah, very strange.
That felt like it should have been like another day before the show starts, or maybe because the one robot is like indisposed, there's like a delay, and everyone's like whatever, and he's like fuck it, and he's just drinking. But and like so he eventually tells the robots, who I think have already killed someone, that they're canceled.
Yes.
Oh, look. It's my castmates. I was just drinking a toast to our cancellation.
And then they
He
kill him.
spits champagne in
Yeah.
one's face. He tells them all to go fuck themselves.
This is the last time.
Might be the last time you ever do.
Yeah, exactly. So he's been performing with these robots for potentially his whole life.
I wonder. So
don't know
like
what's going on.
they pulled it was weird. So the show, the Banana Splits, was not like this.
Okay.
They have made it more like a mix of Double Dare and Blue's Clues.
Okay, that part I assume was not the original,
Because
yeah.
those like there was no man character in the show.
Is that man dressed like a child?
That's Stevie. Nobody really likes him.
Guys, we have to get Trooper out of Mr. Walderscheid's fence.
There was no game shows.
It's sloppy time! Give it up for Ashley and Trevor!
They were like an interlude between cartoons.
Okay.
I don't even think they ever had a full actual show. I think they may have been able to cobble together that shit to make a show
Yeah.
because it was kind of skit-based anyway.
Well, I knew that they were a like anthropomorphic animal band.
Yes.
And I knew that they were an old show, and I knew that theme song. That's about it. So what happened here? Do you know like the background about this, by the way? That someone,
how this got
somebody
created?
bought the rights to the Banana Splits
Well,
and
I
was like,
think
we're
it's-
going for it.
What is it? What is it? The company flashed in the beginning, and I think they were the people that did Warner Brothers cartoons back in the day. And I
Okay.
think Warner Brothers owns Hanna-Barbera, and Hanna-Barbera is who made this. And I think they have since sold all their shit because times have been tough for Hanna-Barbera.
Sure.
Although they have some of the best iconic,
I was
awesome
gonna say,
cartoons
so we
ever.
have so we have more stuff to look forward to in the future potentially.
Well, it's
in the same vein.
What's so strange is that they made this super like there's some really decent death scenes.
Yeah.
There's a really cringy handbrake moment.
Sure.
Like this is a violent movie.
Yeah.
And for them to like
it has its moments.
spin off this like 70s TV show about like love, peace, and whatever. It's very weird.
I feel like
it's not
that,
what jumps to mind.
No, and like that was the point, was to be like, okay, we're gonna take this kidsy show and then show this gruesome stuff or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But some of them are good, some of them are not good, some of them are awful, or it's just like, I don't know, when they're like going through that Double Dare set and he falls on exactly on his face and she falls exactly on her fingers. I was just like,
But nothing changed in those scenes than were in the actual game. Those children were always in danger.
Yeah.
Did you notice how rickety and shitty that set
Yes.
is? It's metal
you climb a metal ladder after going through slimy goo.
Yeah,
I know.
And on multiple tiers, and you're jumping into a box of balls that's like like a jacuzzi size, and on either side of it is just the
Death.
floor. Yeah.
It's time to fly!
It's very strange, and not only are you going through this with slippery
That's what the
feet,
kids
they're
like.
throwing pies at you the whole time.
When Trevor's down for the count!
Robotic, fucking launching
Robotic,
pies.
like death pie maneuvers.
So
yeah.
there's a lot of things that are really weird about this. The weirdest thing that kind of jumps to me is you could totally cut this so that the mother and the son look like their love interests.
Oh.
It's an incredibly sweet thing you did for your brother.
Hey, his dad sucks, but I love him. His mom's okay too.
So like
Elaborate.
All their conversations come across as like oh, he's the younger guy who's interested in you.
I swear it was just one time.
There's hundreds of these sleeping with your assistant. God, you're such a cliche.
Beth, I knew it, man. I knew you were a scumbag.
You watch your mouth.
Go back inside.
You know what? She stands up for you, and she defends you, and she tells me to give you a chance, and the whole time you've been cheating on her? I should.
You should
Okay,
what?
stop,
You
stop,
should what,
stop.
little boy?
They play very odd, and if you changed the music a little bit and like played those scenes, I think you'd see what I'm talking about. Every one of those, I was like, this is awkward.
Where were you?
We'll see.
I didn't.
Oh, it's awkward.
I did not have those thoughts, but I think I understand what you're saying, and it terrifies me.
Yeah. And
How did you feel? Oh, go ahead.
Well,
Yeah.
the husband who is cheating on her, and
Yeah.
like the son who like the lover he is, it's like confronts him about it. That husband seems like he is not only is he not the father to the one he's not the father of, he doesn't seem like he's the father to the younger one either. Because
I was a little
like the
confused
"don't call
about who
me
was
daddy"
who.
thing.
Thank you so much, Daddy. You're the best.
Harley, we talked about this.
I expected him to say like "don't call me dad." I was like he must not be the father to either of them, but he is. He's that one's legit
I was gonna
father.
say
Doesn't make any
they
sense.
make that clear later on, right?
Yeah.
That he was, yeah. So no, he's a total douche to like a crazy degree. He says you're too old to call me daddy or whatever, all that stuff. He's a horrible person,
Yeah.
basically, whatever.
What's weird too
He has a
is that
sensitive boy. I was a sensitive boy as a child. I understand, his situation. But
I
yes.
also tell you not to call me daddy regularly.
Uh-huh.
What's weird for me is that guy was such a douche. It almost subverted my expectations that he didn't do anything heroic at all. Like you thought, based on his relationship with the son, like you're a 19-year-old burnout, f you, whatever. Like you kind of thought that like he might sacrifice himself at the end.
I actually expected
he might
that
do
as well.
something. So I don't know if it's like when you don't expect something, it doesn't make it good necessarily. But like you did think he was gonna die, and he did.
So there's a way to do this. Like you could pick anything in this movie and just pull the string on my back, and I'll just explain why it's bad, basically, or why it like fell short for me or something like that, right? Because either yes, he has that moment where he's like, just go, and he goes, oh no, wait, are you not a monster? And then like it happens or whatever, right? Or you start that way, and then it turns out he was just a monster and like self-serving or whatever.
Yeah, like trips the kid to get away or something.
Yeah, like or like locks the thing and says, I'm sorry, honey, I'm sorry, gotta go, or something like that. And you're like, what? Oh no, he wasn't saving them at all. He just wanted to be the first up the stairs. Oh my God, he's a monster. And then he gets killed by the elephant, right? And then you go, yeah. But here, he just separates from everyone and dies. And he's like running down this narrow thing.
Where at any moment he could have went left or
run to
right
this-
and been
I
totally
know,
fine.
and like that's the kind of thing that bothers you more than me. But I had nothing else to think about during that entire scene. I'm just like, why is this happening? This is awful.
I kept thinking, what is the line he says when he's dying after saving them? And it would be like, coughs blood, cough, cough. Here's $20.
Here you go.
And him going, you're not such a bad guy after all. And then like he
You're not
dies.
such a bad guy after all.
How about the elephant? So like, was the
Yep.
power of love enough to make the elephant not a killer robot?
Yeah,
because
'cause
he
the
does
elephant-
run down the father, but you could argue that he did that to save the family.
He could smell that he was a bad person and he whatever, right? Like, did they establish strongly enough for you that like the elephant should have known that the father was a destabilizing influence in their lives?
Well,
Yeah?
they did show him talking about the cheating just before.
And
he
the
got
elephant's
ran
like
over.
all
Is
the way
right
over there.
Yeah.
Hey, guess whose night just freed up?
So he's using his super hearing with his big
got large ears.
to like hear that like they're having
So
an argument.
I was
and
like,
he goes,
okay,
I'll get my revenge.
Not until the end could I truly infer that.
Yeah.
Because you're like, wait a minute, why is he
The
different?
show
They never
must
show
go
him
on.
not get the program because you only see the one ever get reprogrammed.
Yeah,
so like,
but they all eventually.
you have to just assume, I guess, he didn't and just was going. But he, as a robot, knew enough to go along with the plan because he like locks the kid up and then hands him the keys.
Yep.
Snarky, please don't do this.
He fights the gorilla who looks so much like Elton John. Like, do you see it?
Was it even a gorilla? I thought it was a big cat man or something like that.
I thought it was a gorilla. No, it has to be a
Big
gorilla
orange
because they
guy?
say there's no cat.
I know, I'm joking about there being
but
no
there is a
cat.
lion, which I've been like, that is a cat. Like,
We can split hairs all day.
so
yes.
it's a dog, it's a monkey, it's an elephant, and a lion.
Sure.
Allegedly.
Sure. Whatever. Yes.
Yeah, but it's weird because for robots, they don't feel very robotic at times.
No,
they have
no.
very irregular senses of strength and stuff because
Yeah.
they draw and quarter a dude. Like which is impossible to pull all 4 limbs off without him just dropping or the whole body coming with one of them. You know, I'm like, what the hell? That kind of shit annoys me. But
I'm glad
it cut
that
to a
bothers you
really
so
nice.
much.
That's a prop.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, okay, and like, you know, the neck too. I think there was some CG put in there, but like there was a prop there for his neck explosion.
Yeah,
from
yeah,
Lollipop.
the weird.
Which was
So
good.
like that's like the first death, I think, right, when he shoves the lollipop down his throat, I want to say.
The first true death, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, this show's doing something. This movie's doing something.
There
here.
were confusing
This is
parts for
okay.
me.
Yeah.
Like when they first, the executive guy who cancels the show,
Yeah.
he gets just like pulled out of frame and a cigar drops.
Yeah.
And I was watching that and I went like, what the hell? Was that the worst off-screen death I've ever seen in my life? And then not till like the last like 6 minutes,
Right.
you see him again, and he's like Jesus to the wall of spin.
He's on a big wheel, gonna
Yeah.
spin him. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought at some point someone was gonna get hammer time, so because like earlier on they do the setup of like,
Yeah,
it's
she-
a little hammer, ain't
she
a big
gets-
hammer.
she gets hit in the
She
head.
does, but the wheel says hammer time is one of
Oh.
the things. So when they were spinning
yeah.
him, I thought they were gonna be like hammer time and
Yeah,
club
like,
to death.
it-
But the banana split came up. What's banana split? It's never come up.
Banana split!
What's a banana split?
What's a banana split?
What's a banana split? I don't know. It always lands on rock out.
How I know it always lands on rock out. No, like there's moments where there's some interesting, like when he's like, "Hey, is there mail today?"
Ace TV, mail here!
And they just roast the person, and the
Yeah.
kids are screaming, and I was like, "There's little far, few and far between. There's little moments of like that interesting, like it's always very scary when someone or something is hurting someone, but they're not like it doesn't seem like they mean to hurt them. They're just doing something else. They're just doing a thing
Yeah,
or
like
whatever.
Lenny and the Rabbits.
And I get the Tinder rap.
Yeah, it's like there's something spooky about that. Or like there was a movie where like some dude's like kidnapping and like lobotomizing girls, but he's trying to like help them or something like that. So he's like saying like, no, it's all gonna be okay. Once we're done with this procedure, and she's like screaming and all that stuff, like things like that. There's this interesting, terrifying element, but they only dip into this territory like very briefly, and
Yeah.
then they're back to like movie that doesn't make sense and things that don't work or whatever.
It's a lot better than I thought it was gonna be.
As a movie, yes.
Because
as like a film.
Going into it, I'm like, how do you make the banana splits into a horror movie, and why? So that was my major
Yeah.
reason for watching this, and I think they hit certain marks. I
Yeah.
think that within 3 minutes in the writers' room, I could have made this 100 times better with
Yeah,
just
big
obvious
time.
things that wouldn't have cost you any money.
Yes.
But it's interesting enough. I think there's some actual cringy, like when dog, whatever the fuck his name is, he breaks her hand, then she falls on it, and that
Yeah.
that gave me a ooh, because I like
Yeah,
that.
sure.
I didn't because you didn't notice how badly he broke it when he first touches it, and how she lands on it and just splits those fingers. I was like, all right, Bernie McFace stage dad guy. Hated him. Liked
Yeah.
to see him die. That fire effect was pretty poor, but
Very
it was
bad.
okay. He didn't actually die. Didn't burn any of his hair. He has like a beard, a fucking mustache, and a full head of hair, and just his face gets burned, even though
Yeah.
his head's on fire.
And he's very inconsistent. He doesn't know when he's on camera or not to keep acting like he's in pain. He kept being like I'm
Ooh.
fine or whatever, and then go like, ah! And then go back to acting. I thought it was very funny.
We're gonna make.
No, there's a lot of stuff like that. If we keep rounding out the characters, Tough Mom I thought was fine. The douche dad I thought was fine. The older brother was fine. The page was fine. I think that might be it.
Now, strongest for me was the
Russian
little
scientist.
girl, the friend who wasn't really his friend.
Really?
I thought she was really she
Oh,
was on
no.
with her lines. I thought
I
the
didn't like
brother
her
was
at all.
bad.
He's the
I
worst.
thought he didn't deliver the lines
horrible.
properly.
Yeah.
Honestly, that can go for both brothers.
Yeah.
And the mom, up until the point where she took off her like shirt into the red shirt, I thought she was much better, but like in the first half than she was in the second half. Paige was pretty strong.
Yeah, just like their performance. Like, obviously all the dialogue is bad and all the writing is bad and blah, 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 blah. How'd you like the vloggers? Every movie has vloggers now.
What's up, you guys? Check it out, right?
We're here at the TAF Studios,
The home of the Banana Split since 1969.
I thought they nailed what they are. They're supposed to be the worst characters in the world, and they are. And like, you know, the guy's dead. The girl lives on to be a potential bad guy in another movie. She grabs the bodies of the fucking puppets and has what would have been the fifth one wearing it. Which, for what, and like, this goes into things like they must have been like designed for killing, because the hand is clawed blades that
attacking.
She kills the, like,
they must be designed for killing. Exactly.
She kills the creator with his own costume.
Yep.
That doesn't make sense. That's like, why does it even have the ability to see through?
Yep.
Like, it shouldn't.
Because it's robots.
Yeah.
No, like
unless the sensor has to go behind the eyepieces. I don't know.
I did actually like that. I liked
it was a cool looking
I liked
costume.
Maybe like 20-something% of the movie, honestly. But so like the dad, you know, he's like, you know, that goes up to like 11. He's like, I'm injured, come back. And then all the ambulances, all the cops, all the firefighters, all the family, everyone's leaving. And he's like, what the fuck?
I'm injured! Oh, I don't believe this!
And like that makes me laugh, because that's crazy. That's like so far above and beyond what.
Because he must have been knocked out from the punch until that point. And no one noticed a strewn about body.
Yeah, which is dumb, but his like what he's putting into it. And he's running all weird, and his one leg is like going out to the side and stuff.
And he's hit by the Batmobile.
And he gets run over, and like to its credit, because that's happening, and like the way the shot's framed. In my head, I'm like, okay, so like one of the robots like shows up, like what happens? I actually forgot about the one Asian girl vlogger.
That is their
which
goal.
Is exactly. Yeah. So like to their credit, they actually let me or made me forget about her because of how her character ends up and all that stuff. I like her slow, dark version of the theme song. I know as she's driving away.
That would be a
like,
trailer moment.
And the red eye. Yeah, that's like I'm like okay, and the costume looks cool on her, and I like her going nuts or whatever. Like that was fine. That was fine. Out of everything, like that little pocket there, and like when it runs over the dad, like the way his body, like the limbs fly about and flop around. I was like, okay, that was cool. Why don't you do more of that in the beginning? In the middle.
The theme song is super catchy to me, and like, you know, that's what it has been forever. But I found myself at moments when you would be like, yeah, get him. I was like, la, la, la. And just like enjoying the moment. So like, while I agree with your assessment that like 20% of the movie is good, I thought that those percentages were dotted around enough that overall this was an enjoyable experience for me, especially going in expecting so little. And not, I thought this was going to be like the PGest of horror movies.
Oh, okay.
Because just knowing what the source material was and thinking, well, no one's going to sign off on that. They must all be dead or have no ability to fight it because it's such a strange thing. And the movie ends and says like, and the DVD of season 1 of the real show is available. So
I didn't catch that.
So
Okay,
they're actually plugging. So like, it's very weird. But again, I think it was a fun experience. I think this was something that would lend itself to group watch. I think there's a lot of what the fuck moments, and I can't believe this shit's happening, and it's goofy enough that you could rag on it with a crowd here. There's definitely the what the hell moments that don't make sense. You could script doctor the fuck out of this and actually make something enjoyable. It does feel too heavily like I think they just were like, hey, that Five Nights at Freddy's was popular. Let's make a movie way after the fact.
I'm glad you brought that up because I never played that game, but I'm aware of it. And this is just, I think that. Like you're trapped somewhere with animatronics run amok or whatever.
Yeah, I never played the game either. I think I have it on Steam because it was like free.
Yeah, no, it was definitely. But that was a super popular thing, and like the imagery and the way stuff.
And
looks
I believe
with the
that was
animatronic
like characters too, and that's the only reason I could see as to why they're going animatronic here because it doesn't even fit the narrative. Like it doesn't really. No. It doesn't help this thing at all.
No, and you can tell because, like I said earlier, it's never acknowledged one way or the other. It's never like a reveal, and it's never like a thing.
It's super goofy.
Where they're like, you know, like the producers should be like, oh, also they're robots. And it's like, wait, what? What do you mean they're robots? That's crazy. Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, like in the Meet the Splits thing, it could be like, and have a look, and like they like pull off one of the masks, and it's like, oh la la la.
That would like terrify the children, but yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the start of it.
Or something could happen, right? Maybe drunken crazy Steve like pulls off one of the heads and says like, see, this whole show is fake. Even the splits are fake. See, kid, there's no Santa Claus, and he's crying or something. We do like a dumb thing. So then when he dies, you're like, yeah, boy, kill him with the lollipop and stuff. Yeah.
Get a good cheer moment out of it.
I don't know. Something.
I think it could have been darker if they would have leaned a lot harder into it. But I guess you're at a limit of how far can you actually go with what you have, because they're in mascot costumes. It's pretty dark in most of this movie. So I'm wondering, like, how well can you see out of a mascot costume to begin with, and then how well can you do it on camera?
You can use movie magic.
Mascot on mascot fight though, I was like, okay, it wasn't anything exceptional. And that's where our elephant proves he's the ultimate good in the world, and he fights the one-armed gorilla and still like loses in quotes. It was a tie, but he was fighting a one-armed guy, and arguably he has 3 arms.
I was just gonna say he has a third appendage he could have used in the fight. I'm assuming that's prehensile and terrifying. Like
it never showed that way, but I did like the idea of that. I thought at a point he was gonna crush his head off because
he was gonna go and do a thing or whatever. No,
but he somehow like splits his head. I don't even know how that move happened.
And like they tried, right? He like reaches in and grabs a pile of wires or something. Like they're doing something or whatever. For me, this like doesn't rise above its like, cause like going in, you're like, I bet it's a murderous rampage with the banana splits, and then finding out that it's animatronics and meeting all of our dumb characters and watching the order they die, and I was just like, okay. It wasn't super painful to your point. Like I'm not like how dare you? This is the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. But it didn't like I would have been super happy, and like you said, I thought it had so much potential to actually be more. But it fails to rise above its basic, like, it's exactly what it looks like it is or says it is.
Pretty much,
it's impossible to spoil this movie, because you're only there to see. Because, like, as soon as, like, 20 minutes in, 15 minutes in, like, you know what's going on. And then it's just a matter of seeing how exactly they die, and you just flip a coin if it's going to be, like, at all impressive or not, or good.
No important characters die, so there's no, like shock moments there. Right. Everyone that you think is going to walk out of this does walk out of this. Yeah. So, like, that could be better. It would be nicer, like, if they killed the youngest son, that would have been a big whoa moment.
Whoa! Yeah, and there's like a romance, like a love plot that comes together and all that stuff.
Yeah, and pays off for him. He has one of the cringiest like hookup-y lines, as like they do in now things. They collect your phones in bags. They're collecting his phone at the entrance, and he's like, if you want to, put your number in there, that that'd
wouldn't mind if when I got it back, like your number was in there.
Hey, here you go. You can put your number in there if you want. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, and she's like,
by the end, he's with it.
No, it's great. I like that. That was done, but I liked it. The moment where they reveal that all the adults are dead.
Oh, Jesus.
It's only the adults.
Because like they don't show all those people, but I liked that.
That was actually
when
a
the flashlight
turning point
comes up.
of awesome, because it's a really nicely filmed shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, that when the flashlight
the
pans
movie.
over, I was like, that was pretty good. Like it's kind of token when you see the guy dead with 2 drumsticks in his eyes. I had a moment where I was like, no, Def Leppard, when they ripped off the drummer's arm.
The drummer from the Flippers only got 1 arm. The drummer from the Flippers only got 1 arm.
Always back to Def Leppard.
I wonder if that was a on-purpose thing.
But I like that they thought through the entire thing, where it's like, what about all those other people that were here before? And it's like, oh no, the splits like doubled back and kept them from leaving. And
that was actually all the elephant.
All the right. The elephant's actually the worst of everyone.
Yeah, he's Hitler.
They're really all trying to stop the elephant the whole time. That's the whole that's the real subplot of the whole thing, the subtext here. Yeah. No, I think we've hit everything. I thought, it doesn't make enough sense to be like gripping enough for me. It doesn't. It's not like cohesive enough. Or
the few visuals that are nice, like, are there to like keep you entertained and carry you through, but aren't really enough to make you say this is an amazing movie. I liked when the girl gets glenned with the hammer.
Giant hammer.
She did it! He took it down to Hammertown!
Her eye pops out, like, that's pretty good.
I love that we call it glenned. Perfect. Spoilers for Walking Dead.
But yes, it is just enough, like to ride the line of like, okay, you've got something, but it never really goes high. It doesn't dip too low for me. It's just kind of this neutral, like, yeah, that's a movie.
No, like basic, disappointing to a certain degree. I could leave it, like take it or leave it. It's like I'm fine to just leave it where it was or whatever. It's not a big. But like we're in that zone though. It's like a quote unquote real movie. We're not in like the cheap fake movie zone where you're like,
no, it is mic'd properly the whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
The visuals are all good.
Sound,
The effects are on
visuals,
point. This is a real movie. But unless you had some prior knowledge or interest in the Banana Splits, it's not really a horror movie that I would say like, and that you've got to see. Even if you're a big Five Nights at Freddy guy, you could be like, because I don't know if they're ever going to make a movie for that.
No.
This could fit your niche, maybe.
In much the same way Pacific Rim is our Evangelion movie. I think this is your Five Nights at Freddy movie. And yeah, if you have friends like I think you're totally on point. You know, in a group, maybe substance abuse is involved or whatever. You like horrors and deaths and bright red blood, and you know you think it's great that there's a dude in a mascot costume like stalking people to kill them or whatever. If that sounds like your bag, go for this 100%.
Yeah. It has fun, colorful sets. That, all that's cool.
Totally.
They call the place they go to film this the Taft like Taft lot or the Taft production or whatever.
Huge bathtub.
So well, yes, Fat President.
Fat President.
Hashtag Fat President.
Hashtag Fat President. Hashtag huge bathtub. Hashtag Taft.
But that was interesting to me because I was like, oh, it doesn't say like Warner Brothers, doesn't say Hanna-Barbera, it doesn't say anything like that. And I wonder if they had to distance themselves and like, we don't actually want to be associated with this, so.
And I wonder at what stage in the production that happens, where they say like, no.
Yeah.
We've seen the dailies.
Oh,
no.
How long do you think before something like this happens with like characters that we know?
That's what I want, right? Because we've got, like, Mickey Mouse has prevented anything from actually entering the public domain, but you would hope, like, this should be the process, is something that your parents watched when they were kids, or even you, gets like a gritty reboot, or like appears in something as a funny thing or whatever, right? Or like the killer uses that as the mask or something, right? Like something. We do a thing.
Because this
and
is
I would love
obviously
something.
before our time, so like,
we don't have a love for the Banana Splits.
20 years till we get something that we know, but it'd be
dead.
cool seeing like Bugs Bunny killing motherfuckers or something. This guy's just like Elmer Fudd, he's just shooting bitches.
Another Space Jam, yeah.
They are making another Space Jam.
I know,
yeah,
but it's not going to be a gritty murder spree.
Well, I don't want to,
let's not
King
count our
James,
chickens.
he does what he wants.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything that happens in this movie or that's worth talking about. Do you have any last buttons or things you wanted to make sure we cover?
You'll always be my favorite.
Alright guys, thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments below what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
If you want to support the show, head over to cannibalvideo.com, pick up some merch.
And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button.
That's alright.
Yeah, that's something.
Whatever.
Fuck these motherfuckers.
Hello, internets. I just love watching Just Staggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.